got an invitation from Paulo Tamasio. He's a senior lecturer here, and thank you. Was my former student in the School of Economics. I think economics is a very good background for law, because economics teaches the lawyers not only to think rationally, but, but to know their numbers. Well, I had no knowledge of the constitutional cluster. I'm so sorry, Paolo did not tell me about it. He said it was being organized to celebrate Justice Lee's life and work on his 90th birthday. So I accepted with alacrity. Because I have been a great admirer of Justice Lee ever since I heard him for the first time delivering a lecture in, sorry, the Ateneo's College of Law, or the law school. My daughter was was studying there at the time. And because pala, sabi ni Paolo sa akin, Justice Bibi wanted a non-lawyer to react, and he chose me, naturally. I was not going to refuse that. I don't know whether this is Paolo's, his, whatever it is. And third, because, let's face it, celebrating the 90th birthday of a male Filipino is a rare occasion, because the average life expectancy of a Filipino male at birth today is 69 years old. So you can imagine the bonus years we all have had. I mean, I'm talking to the people over 69. So I accepted, and that is why I am here today. I really, you know, am not going to talk about the law as the law. I have no knowledge about that. But just before I start, I Googled, I checked, when is Justice Bibi's birthday? Kasi celebration ito ng birthday niya. Eh nakita ko, April 5 pala. Naku, sabi ko, ganda talaga ang lawyers. Their knowledge of numbers is that. It is. Anyway, Justice Bibi, related. Happy birthday to you. Now then to the issue at hand. Justice Mendoza's lecture, and it does not disappoint. It is VVV. What does that mean? Vintage Vicente Victoria. This is the first time. So, other than that, I agree with all Mel has to say about it. And, borrowing from Whitehead, he talks about the art of free society. Translated into today's language, that's democracy. This was written, after all, almost 100 years ago. So, he says the art of free society consisting first, it's not there anymore. First, in the maintenance of a symbolic code, which is our constitution, and secondly, in the fearlessness of revision to secure that the code serves those purposes which satisfy an enlightened reason. Note, enlightened reason. Justice Mendoza then asks, how well have we practiced the art of free society in our country? And it seems he has given our country top marks pretty well in his extreme opinions. Any shortcomings may be attributable to our failure as the sovereign people to live up to our obligations. That seems to be a summary of his talk. And I have only 3 points to make. The first point, just for food for thought, the first point I have to make has to do with who are the change makers. And Justice Mendoza is very clear. He said, the change makers, not to him whose outlook is limited by parish or class, or whose motive is solely to prolong the stay in power of those in public office or to seek material gain or political advantage should the task be entrusted. We should not entrust the task of change making to these people. Well, my goodness, that that excludes so much of the members of Congress, and they are the ones in charge of the formal change in the Constitution. So where are we? What are we to do? I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to ask Justice Mendoza to answer that. My second point has to do with the standards set by free society, by a democracy, for a change in the symbolic code of the Constitution. The change must be, and I quote, for purposes which satisfy an enlightened reason. Now, this is language used 100 years ago, and translating it into economies, my language, that would mean that the change should be rational. Means that the extra benefits of that change should be more than the extra costs of that change. From the free society's point of view, well, it is noteworthy that using that standard, all the proposed changes, i.e., the economic provisions, the form of government, federal vs unitary, parliament versus presidential, would all not pass. There is a plethora of empirical studies on these three issues which show this. For example, there was Parfon in 2020, and she found that the overall foreign direct investment restrictiveness index is statistically insignificant for all investors when macroeconomic stability, governance, ease of doing business, and quality of infrastructure are accounted for. In other words, the restrictions don't mean a thing as long as these other things are in place. So, so what, and yet the the, the status of the Philippines in that FDI restrictiveness index of OECD is what is in the it was the basis of all these resolutions in Congress to lift the economic restrictions of the Constitution. Now, with respect to